planted the rose with some oregano that I already had and some thyme, and they both were outgrowing their pots, so I thought I would plant them in here because apparently both of them are like antifungal, antiviral, and something to be aware of, I guess, when you're growing in zone 11A is like fungus and other disease that roses can get. So yeah, companion planting these together is like a really good way of hopefully making sure your rose stays healthy. So yeah, I mean, it looks a little bit empty right now, but they'll fill in. And I think it's also nice having like something underplanted, because even though the rose is still growing and she's like just waking up, it gives the pot a little bit more life, so it doesn't look so empty, and I'm sure they'll fill up those empty gaps really quick. And you can see that she's already put out that little like shoot there, which was definitely not there before. So this is really exciting. I guess we're just giving a little garden update while we're at it. So this pansy I planted and it like took off like wildfire. It was growing so good, and it's almost like it got really like floppy and almost too big and like long and leggy, so I chopped it back. But yeah, it's still kind of, I don't know, I feel like pansies are an interesting one because they kind of grow really well in winter here, but then I find that they always just sort of end up like growing like out like that instead of like upwards. So I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, or this is supposed to be like how it looks, or it's too big for the pot that it's in. I did realize that maybe growing violas would have been better. They look almost exactly the same, but apparently they're a little bit like hardier. So noted for next year. I think the pansies really only do well here in the winter. I learned that last year. I planted them way too close to the end of the season, and as soon as it gets really hot, like they just absolutely hate it. So it's very much just one that I'm planting for winter. These are the pelargoniums. So something that I learned is that like pelargoniums and geraniums are kind of called interchangeably, but they're actually two different things, and pelargoniums do way better in winter in warmer climates like we have here in the Gold Coast, and geraniums do better in like colder climates. So yeah, I was looking for, so the interesting thing about pelargoniums is like they are like fragranced like candy. Like you can get like cola ones, you can get Old Spice, you can get Orange Fizz, you can get Rose, you can get this one is called Candy Dancer, and it literally smells like a like rose lychee candy. It smells amazing. This one is attar of roses. Obviously it smells like roses, smells amazing. This one is not really scented, but like, so the way that you smell, it's actually the leaves that smell on a pelargonium, not the flowers. So what you're supposed to do is you like gently rub the leaf and then like smell it. That one doesn't, it has a little bit of a citrus fragrance. It's not super strong like these ones. When you do it, it just smells like it's a bit wet. Oh my god, I really wish that you could smell it through the phone. It just smells incredible. But yeah, so you like rub your fingers and then you smell your finger. You rub your fingers on the pelargonium and then you smell that, and then you can see what they smell like. But I'm super excited for these ones to get more established, and I'll spin you around. So I feel like it was such a mission to try and find the pelargoniums I was looking for, because I really wanted attar roses because I love anything rose scented. And then I saw the Candy Dancer one and I was like, that also sounds amazing because I love rose, I love lychee, like in perfumes, just in general, to eat, all of the above. But I found I could only find them on eBay, and with shipping they were going to be like $40 each, and I was like, that's a bit steep for something where, I mean, I don't want to kill it, you know? Like, it's not like I think I'm a bad gardener, but I'm still learning and I'm still like kind of new to it. So I was like, I don't really want to spend $40 on a plant. And yeah, and also like on my balcony. Sometimes some things do really well, other things don't do well, because it does get a lot of the afternoon sun like directly on it. So especially in summer, it's like only the strong survive. And you really have to be quite conscious of like what you're choosing to plant. So yeah, I went to a nursery that I've bought a lot from online, but they actually are open a few days a week. So I finally went there and looked, because they didn't have the pelargoniums online. They said they were out of stock, which, to be fair, it's not really their season, like it is winter. But they had a bunch of them there, so obviously like snapped them up. And yeah, now they're just kind of getting established, which I think is kind of good over winter. Like they're getting stronger, they're building the root systems, and hopefully they're feeling strong when summer comes around. So yeah, that's sort of what is growing on in the garden right now. I didn't want to speak too loudly because it is quite early when I'm filming this, and I didn't want to be like yelling off the balcony to everyone on the street like what I have growing on in my garden. But yeah, that's what I've been growing so far. I feel like I've lived in this apartment for 3 years, maybe going on 4 years, something like that, can't remember. And trying to figure out like what will do well has been like a labor of love. It's been really interesting, figuring out like what can handle the heat, what can handle like the sunshine. Like growing in zone 11A is definitely interesting when you, I guess, want to grow plants that aren't necessarily just like subtropical plants. But the herbaceous border, I feel like after a few iterations of different things, I sort of learned that like what happens is like, I know this sounds obvious now, but it obviously wasn't obvious to me when I first started gardening, is that like you want to plant plants that have similar water and sunshine needs all in the same bed together, because I was trying to plant some plants that needed lots of water. Some plants like the lavender don't like lots of water. All of them are getting blasted with the afternoon sun, especially in the summer. So like you really want plants that can handle the heat, that are okay with not a lot of water, and you want them to all sort of have like the same growing needs. And that was obviously a lesson I had to learn, but I've learned it now. And now it's like when I'm trying to shop for plants, I mean, that bed is pretty much full now. It doesn't really have any space for anything else in there. But if I was to do it again, like I would look for plants that all have sort of the same water needs and are all good at dealing with the sun. And sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error, like some things that you don't think would do well, they do good, and vice versa. And then with the pots, it's a little bit better because you can kind of, my arm's getting tired. With the pots, it's good because you can sort of move them around a little bit, because there's some spots on the balcony that do get a bit more shade, or like do get a bit more, maybe not more sun, but like you can sort of be a bit more flexible. And I find actually here growing in the winter, a lot of things do good that like don't do so well in the summer, like the pansies. And I think that's okay, just like reducing your expectations that those things are going to last year round, because like here they're just not, and that's okay. Like nothing, I think I thought I was like failing at gardening before, when I was like, oh, unless the plant has to always stay alive and always be doing good. But it's one of those things in nature where it's like you learn that nothing blooms all year round, and some things do good in some seasons and some don't, and some do good in some spots and other ones don't. And it really is one of those things that you just have to try it. A few weeks ago, I went on like the edible, I think it was like the Mount Tambourine Edible Garden Trail. So it was like you got to visit a bunch of houses and gardens and see what the people were doing with them. And one of the things that I really noticed overall is people were just trying stuff. They were like, yeah, it's not the season to do this, but we're gonna just try it anyways and see what happens. Yeah, this is probably not the spot to put this thing, but we're just gonna give it a go and see what happens. And I really like that attitude to gardening. It's like you're not gonna get it, or like to everything in life, really. Like you're not gonna get it right the first time, and that's okay. Like take that pressure off of yourself to always get it right, always get it perfect. And then if you like don't, you think you're like failing somehow, which is something I struggle with a lot in gardening, and I mean probably other things in general. But you just don't want to feel like you're responsible for killing another living being. But yeah, I think it's one of those things with gardening, and like whichever way your like balcony or house is facing, like that's gonna tell you, like the environment will tell you if the plants do well or if they don't do well, and you can only learn through just like trial and error. So yeah, that's kind of where it's at right now in the winter. And everything's kind of like, over summer things went wild. Like they were just growing like crazy. The chocolate mint was going insane. Like I was harvesting it lots. I kind of wish I had harvested it more, because like when you trim the herbs back, they usually grow way more. And I wish that I had harvested more over the summer and like dried those tea leaves so I could have them over winter. I kind of don't want to keep hacking at it right now because I think it's in a little bit of like a resting phase. So lesson learned for next year, I guess next year. This summer, yeah, is that I will probably like harvest my herbs a little bit more so that I can have like a supply over the winter. But yeah, that's where we're at with that. I'm excited to see how things go with the rose. Like this has been something I've been thinking about for so long. Like I just think roses are so beautiful. I love them. I'm obsessed. And I was like, you know what? We're just gonna give it a go and see what happens. And that's like all you can do, really. So yeah, that's where the garden is at. Okay, a microgreen check-in. They are definitely coming up. I feel like these ones are so much slower growing than anything else I've tried to grow before. So yeah, I mean, hopefully one day we'll get to harvest them. And if you're wondering how obsessed I am with rose and geranium together, I made it into a candle. Maybe we can do this in another vlog, because I've been making my own candles for a few years now. And so like what I do is I just keep reusing the same glass jars. Like I'll make 4 or 5 at a time, and then I'll just burn them all. And then once they're all burned up, then I will do another big batch again. So maybe we can do that in another vlog in the future, because it took a little bit of figuring out like the glass size jar, the jar sizes, and the kind of wicks to use, and like the fragrance load, and like what kind of wax to use. But now I feel like I've got a pretty good grip on it, and I just make the labels in Canva, and then I print them on sticker paper, and then I cut them out and stick them on. And yeah, it's just been really fun as like a little project, and it's really fun to make the candles. And I make different ones depending on the season, but my favorite one, I mean, at the moment, obviously, rose geranium. I absolutely love this one, and I'll show you the other one. So a tomato vine leaf candle is my absolute favorite. I love it so much. So yeah, we did that in the little, I don't know what this jar is called, but I got them from Kmart, and they're meant for canning so they can handle heat. And yeah, they work really well for candles as well. And the last one I did was like a rosemary mint. So I named this the Kitchen Garden Collection because, I mean, it's pretty obvious why. And yeah, they all just smell like really fresh, and obviously things that you would find in the kitchen garden. Haven't burned this one yet, but its time is coming. matcha latte. I know it's a little cold out for a nice matcha latte, but I actually really prefer matcha iced over like a hot matcha latte. So the matcha that I've been using is this one. It's from New Harvest, and it's vanilla flavored, and it has some prebiotics in it, which is nice, and it's also sugar free, but it's not sweetened with anything. It's sweetened with stevia, so not the worst for you. Probably a better, like a healthier option, because like I like a little bit of sweetness in my matcha. I guess it depends on the matcha, but this one's just like a really good one if you want like everything all in one, like the flavor. So yeah, let's make that. I've got this on cold froth, and you want to use like the Bonsoy almond milk. I find is the best for creating like a really good cold foam, and I like a strong matcha. It says to put 9 grams, which it says is 2 teaspoons. So, ooh, maybe not that much. And then we are going to add, I watched this vlog on YouTube that was saying that apparently you're supposed to start mixing your matcha with like room temperature water, and then I've got my little matcha whisk, which is a little bit deformed, but she does the job. And then you're supposed to do like a W motion when it comes to mixing the matcha, and then it gets kind of like a froth on the top, and this is how you know that it's like a good matcha, because I bought a lot of matcha powders, and some of them, they're a little questionable. So yeah, this one froths up really good. And then mixing and mixing and mixing. And then, I mean, that's not totally boiled, but whatever. And then you mix that in together. Still mixing. You want to make sure it's all mixed in. And then you give that a little rinse. Then you take your cold foam milk, and then you try not to pour this everywhere. Oh my god, that looks amazing. And then you get your glass straw. Like, look how pretty it looks. It's just such a vibe. Maybe I'll add another ice cube. That one's gonna be too big. Ooh. Oopsies. That is so good. Like, look at the colors. And, well, we gotta clean that up. I don't want to wear it. The cold foam is just amazing. Like, this thing does like obviously like hot froth as well, but the cold foam in like an iced coffee or an iced matcha is just unreal. That is so good. Yum. I always think it's funny how it's like drinks go in such trends. my god, that sound. Like it was, I feel like matcha was not on anyone's radar. Like it's, like right now I feel like you can go into like any cafe and you can get like a matcha latte or an iced matcha latte, and it, like, I was like, when did this become such a thing? Like, did we all decide we wanted to stop drinking coffee so much, or what makes that happen? I'm always curious, because it's like, obviously matcha has existed for such a long time, so it's like, why now? Why all of a sudden? But that is so good. I think after, so a little bit of a story time. So I finished my bachelor's of psychology, which was like a 4-year degree. I finished that and graduated at the end of last year. And like, there's this meme that it's like Shrek crying, and it's like when you choose an academically challenging degree and you get like academically challenged. That was like the last 4 years. Like it was just a really intense like 4 years of study. And I know people are always like, oh, like P's get degrees and stuff. Not in psychology, or at least like not in the way that the system works here in Australia. So in order to become a psychologist in Australia, you have to do your Bachelor's of Psychology honors, which is a 4-year degree. At the end of it, you have to do a research project. And for the first 3 years, your GPA that from the first 3 years determines whether you'll get into honors. And to put it in perspective, like when I started in first year, there was like, not exaggerating, 1,000 people in some of your classes. And in 4th year at my campus, like my university has like a few different campuses, there's 25 people in the whole like Bachelor of Psychology honors year. There's 25 people. So that tells you about like first of all, the dropout rate I think is quite large. Like I think people start it because they're like, oh, being a psychologist, that sounds great. And then they start doing it and they're like, oh, this is actually really hard. Like it's quite sciencey. Like it is a science degree. And you have to do statistics and like all of that kind of stuff that I think sometimes people don't think is going to be part of it when they're like, oh, I want to be a psychologist because I like want to help people, or like whatever the reasons are. So before, it used to be that like you could become a psychologist by doing your undergrad, and then you would do, I think it was a year or 2 years of placement afterwards, and then you were like a registered psychologist. They got rid of that like a few years before I started. And so now in Australia, the way that you have to become a psychologist is by doing your Bachelor of Psychology honors and then applying to get into master's programs and then doing your master's, and then you're a registered psychologist. And so the master's program places are extremely competitive. And I think somebody told me like my university got 700 applications and they accept like 45 of those people, which is crazy. Like that's why I feel like there's such a bottleneck in terms of like people who like get the Bachelor of Psychology honors and then who like want to become a psychologist. Like there's a little bit of a bottleneck now. So I didn't get into the master's program, which was like terrifying when it happened, where I was like, oh my God, what's gonna happen? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, I just wasted the last 4 years of my life. Like, what can I do? So I applied for the PhD, got into the PhD program. So now I'm doing a PhD in psychology, which is like, you are a doctor of psychology, but you are not a psychologist. You are like, it's a research degree. So you're essentially putting yourself on the path to become like a researcher, an academic, or like a blend of that kind of thing, which is like funny because that really wasn't my plan at all. Like from the beginning, I was like, I don't really want to be a researcher. Like I just want to be a psychologist. And I feel like the universe has a funny way of doing things sometimes, because doing my research, like doing my thesis at the end of last year, it was like my favorite part of the year almost. Like I loved doing it. Like I really liked my topic. And I was looking at non-medical, like the risk environment for non-medical insulin use amongst people who use image and performance enhancing drugs, which was super interesting to me because like when I started my Bachelor's of Psych, like the thing that I really wanted to get into psychology to do. Like, not the only thing is, but like working with people with like substance use and abuse issues has always been really important to me, and it's like an area that is really interesting to me, and like an area I really want to work in. And it's funny how the way the world works, because you think like drugs, you don't necessarily think like image and performance enhancing drugs, which is like steroids and like all of those other drugs that like people take for like bodybuilding or like other sports that they want to do. And while the focus of my research isn't necessarily like on body image, like that is another area of research that, or just of psychology, that is super interesting to me. So it's kind of like, I guess, adjacent in a way, because it's like body image kind of plays into that in a way. It's like, I don't know, like a root of the tree maybe. But yeah, I think it's kind of, it's funny because when I left the last episode of the podcast, I left right before, because I didn't want to tell anyone that I was applying for the PhD until I knew I was going to get in, because it's just such a vulnerable time, you know, like I don't really like to tell people my goals anyways until I've done them. And so I really wanted to like wait until I had that confirmation piece of paper. And yeah, after that though, like I think that's where I left the podcast. So I feel like I'm catching up. Everyone who maybe was listening to the podcast, we're going to catch up now on YouTube, and I'll just like fill in the story from there, I guess. So that was the big announcement that I think I said I was going to talk about in January on a podcast episode. I'm telling you now, it's almost August. But yeah, I think when I was thinking about it, I was like, I have been creating content on the internet since I was like 17 years old, 18 years old, just have been going hard, nonstop, no breaks. Like, I never took a break from creating content. And when I say creating content, like that is looked at like many different things over the span of the multiple careers that I have had. Like first as like a photographer, and like kind of playing the game where you had to play it back then before like social media was the way it is now. And then like with my photography business and like Instagram and like all the things, like I've been posting on Instagram for like who knows how many years. And it just, and then I had the podcast, and then also like I have my email list and like all of these things that you have to do to like run like either like an online business, which I do like through my hypnotherapy and like coaching and stuff. And also before, when I was a photographer, like that's not an online business, but you run your business online for most of it, aside from when you're like actually out on the job taking photos of things. So it was like, I don't know how many years that is of my life. That's like, I don't know, almost 15 years, maybe more. Can't do the math right now. But it's just like I have been creating content for the internet for so long. And I think in January, like it was just the culmination of like a lot of things and like the season of life that I was in. And I kind of just like hit a wall where I was like, I do not feel like telling anyone anything. And I don't know, maybe you felt that way before. Like I think, especially if you're like a business owner of any type and you know what it's like to have to constantly feel like you have to put stuff out online, otherwise you're not going to get seen, or people are going to forget about you, or your business is going to disappear if you don't tell people that you exist like every single day, or whatever that pressure is. I think I just hit a wall with it, and I was like, I have nothing left to give anyone else. Like, I don't want to commodify my story and my experiences and try and turn it into a teachable moment and like share it on the internet so people think that I'm a good hypnotherapist and I can show them how I can help them with their mindset. Like, I just was not in a place to do it. And yeah, so I was like, you know what? Like, just take a break. If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything. And maybe like if you follow me on Instagram too, maybe you've been like, oh, is that why she's like not posting like content that relates to her business as much? Yes. I just don't think there's any point in forcing it. Like, I don't think there's a point in trying to, because I think people can feel that, you know, like you don't want me to like, I don't know, like the stuff that you force out is not going to be good. And I think like the past 4 years of like going to university full time, like running a business at the same time, like going through all sorts of different like chapters of my life, it was like I just had felt like I was like had been wrung out and there was just nothing left. And there was nothing left to share and nothing left to give. And this is turning into a much more raw and real chat than I thought it was going to be. But anyways, that's sort of where I was at with that. And now that things are sort of like in a new flow, I just kind of felt like like creating again, but I just wanted to create for the enjoyment of creating. Like, I feel like in the PhD, I have to do so much writing and reading and researching and like thinking about stuff. I love that. It actually makes me so happy. I am having the best time that I've ever had at university, but I feel like in creating content in this kind of way, it's just like the other side of me that like just wants to create. Like, I guess I am more of a sciencey person than I maybe originally thought, but I am also like at heart, I'm a creative. Like, I've been like an artist, a creative, like since I was since I was a kid. Like, my whole life I've always been wanting to create things, and that's something that feels really good to me. So that's what we're doing here. It's just about, yeah, like sharing the enjoyment of like, I guess, the beauty of life, the enjoyment of it, like romanticizing the small moments, like the routine outside of like what I do for university, and like the things that I think sort of like fill my cup back up. Like, because like university is just like I love it. It's very mentally taxing at the same time. So it's just, yeah, I wanted to create this as like a place to, I guess, sort of like, yeah, post like the things that I find beautiful in life, or my gardening, or the things that we can make together, or the food, or like the experiences we can have, or whatever. So yeah, if you are into that kind of thing, I hope you enjoy. Yeah, I didn't expect this to turn into such a raw and real chat about where I've been at for the last little while, but that's what we're doing with YouTube. I guess if you're watching and you're kind of wondering, you're like, what are we doing here on YouTube? That's what we're doing. And also, like, I've been watching so many YouTube creators over the past little while, and it's brought me so much joy, and it's just like a little piece of peace in, like, I don't know, a world that can feel kind of chaotic sometimes. So that's what I wanted to create here for all of us. Okay, this is a little horseback riding outfit of the day. So these breeches are amazing. They're from Holland Cooper. They are fleece lined, and I know you might be thinking, you live in the Gold Coast, like, how cold could it be? It's cold outside at night. Like, it's like 10 or 11 degrees when you're outside. Like, when you get to the barn, you're sitting, you're waiting for your lesson, you're going to tack up, you're going to untack. It's cold. It's cold when you're not riding the horse. So I know fleece lined breeches sound maybe a bit excessive. You're like, you are not living in Canada, like, what are you doing? They are amazing, and I really love this like little, see, you can see what I mean if you watch the last vlog about how the Holland Cooper like contour trousers look like they're riding breeches. I mean, you can't really, they have like the, obviously the grippy bit on the inside, but yeah, except the little detail on this, instead of being like the little Holland Cooper crest, is a little stirrup, which I think is a really cute detail, because, you know, equestrians, we love a horse motif. They are the comfiest breeches. The quality is insane. They feel so good on. Like, I have worn many a breech in my life, and these ones are so comfortable. I really like the waistband. Like, you have enough space in there, and just like the details, like Holland Cooper's attention to detail is just insane. This is not an ad. I'm just a big fan. I wish it was an ad. But like the little leather detailing on the pockets, which I don't know if you can see, is so cute. It's on the back as well. Yeah, I am obsessed with these breeches. I will be almost like sad when winter is over, because I will not want to wear fleece lined breeches here in the summer, and I will miss wearing them because I really like this color as well. And a little like quarter zip from, I think this is from Aritzia. I bought it a long time ago. I have like a black one and this nice like kind of cognac brown color. Super comfy, just like good for riding in. And then this wax jacket vest kind of thing. Lots of pockets for treats. Oh, speaking of horse treats, pockets for the horse treats. Yeah, this is just a classic. Like, it has a little drawstring inside, so you can cinch it in when it's done up. You've got like a bit of almost like a peplum style, And it's got like the buttons, so you can obviously just like do up a button if you just want to be a little more casual about it. And then also you do have like a nice double zip, so it's really comfortable when you're on the horse. You can have one zip up, and then this one, so you obviously have space. Yeah, that's a look. So you have space for your legs when you're sitting on the saddle, and it does have like a vent at the back as well. So super comfortable for riding in. Lots of pockets for your treats, your phone, whatever else you want to carry. You got the pockets that go this way. You also have pockets that go this way, which is nice. And I think you do have a pocket. Yeah, you have an internal pocket here as well. Yeah, so super handy for horseback riding. It is waterproof, which is nice too. I mean, we don't really ride outside much, but like if you're doing stuff around the yard and it's raining, it's nice not to have everything getting soaked. So yeah, that is my outfit to go horseback riding. I guess the thing about horseback riding and like sharing it on the vlog is like I don't have anyone to film me when I ride. Like I either have my phone in my pocket or my phone is in my bag, and obviously like everyone else is there to ride as well, so there's no one to film. So I wish I could see what I've been riding like lately. That would actually be really nice. I think it's really helpful to be able to like see what it looks like when you're riding, but yeah, no one to film, unfortunately, so no riding videos. But if the moment aligns and I have my phone in my pocket, I'll see if I can get you like some little horsey videos of like some of the horses I've been riding. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. If not, this is my riding outfit of the day. And yeah, let's go horseback riding, which you may or may not get to see. Good morning, everybody. So I think I left you at my riding lesson yesterday. It's so funny because I feel like the horses lately have been in a mood. Like every week for the last couple weeks, one of them just has big opinions about stuff, which I mean is so fair enough. Like they are not machines, they are animals, and they have feelings about the things that you do. But I was riding Morgan, and Morgan is just always like a perfect angel, which was nice because I rode Morgan last week, and then the week before I was on Frank, who was in a mood, and then the week before I was on Sarge. Sarge was also just spooking at everything possible. And yeah, it was nice to be on Morgan because I feel like Morgan, she just like builds your confidence. Like she makes you feel like you're such a good rider because she is just so amazing. Like yeah, she just really is a perfect angel. So it's kind of nice. I think like one of the things I like riding about like in the school is like, because you always ride different horses, it teaches you so many different skills. Not ready to buy my own horse just yet, hopefully one day, but I think for now, like doing the riding school thing, it's really nice because you learn how to work with all of these different horses, and that gives you so many different skills, and it keeps you on your toes. So yeah, it's good. But then sometimes it's nice just to be on like a horse like Morgan, and she's just so like, I wouldn't say she's like chill, like she's very forward moving, but she is just like easy to work with, responsive. Like she's not like, she has like a good head on her shoulders. She's not like silly about stuff. Like she just goes and gets it done. And she's really funny sometimes if she thinks like, she has like opinions about what you're doing. And sometimes if you're like standing there and she like turns around and looks at you and be like, what are you doing? Like, why are we not moving? Which is really funny and really cute. But yes, I love her so much. And yeah, I thought we would do a little maybe like morning skincare, daily makeup routine. So what I have been using is, I mean, there's a few different things I've been trying. I mean, this product, I feel like this is not anything new to anyone. I feel like people talk about this on the internet a lot.
it's just amazing, like the glow it gives you. Yeah, so that is the CosRX Snail Mucin Power Essence. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody explained how the snail essence was collected, and it sounds like they're being nice to the snails, so that's good. But yeah, it's amazing. It just gives you like a super glowy base. And then for this is what I've been using for my eye cream. It's the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum, Ginseng and Retinol. This is just a really nice, like light, kind of like gel eye cream. Yeah, I feel like it feels good. Doesn't feel like it weighs your eyes down or anything. I mean, I don't really have any eye wrinkles, so I think we could say that it's working. And then next, vitamin C. I'm using the one from Medicate. Just a good classic vitamin C. I love Medicate products as well. They have transformed my skin. You know what was funny actually? I was watching old vlogs from a few years ago when I was posting on YouTube, and it's crazy how much my skin has changed. I mean, don't look at it right now because I'm gonna get my cycle next week, so it is breaking out a little bit, but it is so much better than what it used to be. And then this one also, TikTok made me do it. This is the Torridin Dive-In Serum. You can see how much I like it. I have repurchased this like 3 times now. It's just a really good hyaluronic acid. And yeah, it just makes your skin super glowy, super bouncy. This towel does not want to stay on my head. I'm gonna swap to another one. This is the microfiber. Wow, the lighting in here is really not the one. This microfiber towel is actually really good because it like pulls the water out of your hair, and so your hair ends up drying faster, which is really appreciated now that my hair is like longer. And what else are we gonna do? I think that's it. This was what I was using as my SPF. It is like a mineral sunscreen, and like it kind of works as like a brightener and a primer, but I actually got an email from the company the other day, and they were saying to everybody that they are reformulating this product because once it sits on the shelf for a while, it separates and then apparently goes from SPF 50 to SPF 30. So that's sad because it was my favorite SPF. I prefer like a mineral sunscreen, just because, yeah, I think there's some questionable ingredients in some of the chemical sunscreens. And I mean, it's not like I use clean products for everything, but I just, yeah, I think a mineral sunscreen is better. It's kind of like pick your battles, you know? Like, I don't use clean beauty for much at all, really, actually, because I think I prioritize like makeup performance over clean ingredients, and I'd rather just have, I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's like you kind of have to pick what's important to you in terms of like clean products or like clean living or like that kind of stuff, and like trying to avoid, I don't know. I just find with makeup for me, like I get so much more joy and alignment out of products that I feel like actually really work really well. And I just feel like I don't really resonate with a lot of like the clean beauty brands like ethos. Like, I mean, I guess I'd choose like a product that I feel like works for me, and then if it's clean, great, and if not, well, I don't know. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, I don't do any of the things, so chemical makeup is my vice, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's it for my morning routine. Keep it super simple. Like I just do like a vitamin C, hyaluronic acid, eye cream, and then sunscreen. That's it. And I don't like wash my face either in the morning. I just like I'll wash it with water, but I won't wash it with a cleanser because I just find that like you don't really need it. And also like I don't want to, I mean, I have oily skin, so I think we do have to work really hard to dry my skin out, but I just think sometimes in the morning it doesn't need it. So I'll let that sit for a little while. And while that's sort of like soaking in, before I start my makeup, so speaking of clean products, It's a bit grubby from being in the drawer. So Wild, first of all, this case is the cutest thing I've ever seen. And it also looks a lot like my phone case, like the sort of like toile de jouy, oh my god, I can't say it, print. So Wild is like a clean deodorant subscription, and clean deodorant is actually something that I prefer because like you don't want aluminium in your armpits, like near your lymph nodes and like all the things. Like, no thank you. But Wild is like a subscription service where they do like different fragrances of deodorant. This is vanilla buttercream and it smells so good, but all of their deodorants are plastic free. So they send you these little, like a refill insert that I find it takes me a few months to get through one. So yeah, you can buy the case. The case is metal, and then they come in different patterns. I don't think this one is available anymore, but they have lots of cute ones that like they constantly put out new cute ones that are amazing. And then you can choose the scent of the deodorant you want. They do like shower gel and all that kind of stuff too. I think this is not an ad, but I do have a code. I will put it in the description box below for you. I think that gets you like a good discount. I can't remember what it is. I'll put it down below. But yeah, different scented deodorants. It actually works, because that was the thing, is like, I live in Australia. It is super, super, super hot here, obviously in the summer. And I was like, I need a deodorant that works. I've tried lots of different clean ones. And this one, I will say, there was a little bit of almost like a detox period at the beginning, where at first I was like, ew, I feel like I smell. And then, I'm not gonna lie, that lasted for a few days and then it went away. So sometimes that can happen. I also thought that was strange because I was using a clean deodorant before, so I don't know. But yeah, these ones are amazing. The smells are amazing. Like, it smells like you're wearing like perfume, like, but not in like an overpowering way, like just in a really like nice way. Like, your armpits smell nice. They stay smelling nice all day. Yeah, and it really like, it does the job. It stands the test of time, even in really hot, really sweaty weather. So yeah, if you're looking for a good clean deodorant, Wild is the one. And you can just have it on a subscription service, and you can pick which smells you want. And then they do like seasonal limited edition smells. I keep wanting to call them flavors. They're not flavors. Don't eat this. But yeah, it's a vibe if you are looking for a clean deodorant. So, okay, let's get started on like daily sweat-proof, like just glowy makeup routine. So this thing from Danessa Myricks is called Yummy Skin. So this is like, I would call it a primer. And it has this ingredient in it that is called Upsolite. And if you have oily skin, this is going to be the best thing you have ever found. I have oily skin, and I just find that it, like, even though I live somewhere that's warm and humid in the summer, like, I still want to wear makeup. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's hot out, I don't want to wear makeup. If you are, like, props to you, but I love wearing makeup. I love playing with it. I'm not gonna not wear it. And this is amazing. Like, you just, comes with this little spoon, and you just take, like, I think that amount is it gonna focus? I don't know. That amount is like more than enough. And so I'd say like a small pea size, I don't know. And this shade is a little bit too dark for me, but once I kind of blend it out, it's fine. And I just go over, I focus it mainly on the areas that I know get oily, and then everything else I sort of blend it out. And it has like a little bit of a blurring effect. And then I'm gonna wash my hands. And it just creates like a really nice base. This lighting is really not the best. I don't know how well you can see that. I need to see if I can find like a better light that works for if I'm gonna film in here. Anyways, so yeah, it's created, I don't know if you can see that. It's created sort of like a bit of a blurring base. I have a little bit of like acne scarring, which I'm working on with skin needling, but it's still there. And I just find it absorbs the oil. It gives you a really nice base for your makeup to go on. It makes your makeup last a really long time. And the Upsolite is that how you say it? I don't know. It like absorbs oil, so it almost acts as like a mattifying thing. So if you have oily skin like I do, that thing is going to be your new best friend. I have gone through like 2 of them. I am obsessed. I think Danessa Myricks doesn't get talked enough about in Australia. Like I feel like people don't know about her as much. I had to buy that when I was in Canada. Did I buy? Yeah, no, this is the second one. I bought that one online. The first one I bought when I was in Canada because I wanted to try like a little one and see how it went, and it was amazing. So next, I mean, I use a fair few different foundations depending on the day, but right now I really like the Merit Minimalist Perfecting Complexion Stick. So this thing is kind of like a concealer and a foundation. You can use it as both, and I really like it. I'm in the shade Sand, so I just scribble this all over my face. You could just use it as concealer if that is your thing. But I really just like using it all over, and it feels super lightweight as well. Like you might think that this is gonna feel really waxy and heavy because it's in a stick. It's not. Yeah, I kind of concentrate a little. Yeah, that is a look. And then I just take, this is just a brush from Mecca, and then we blend it out. Take a little bit over the eyelids. Obviously can't talk at the same time as doing this, but I got like a gloss done, so if there's like red around this part of my face, that's because the dye is still coming off. Don't have a weird skin disease. Yeah, and then I just sort of blend it up and out into the hairline. And this brush is the best thing ever because you can kind of like stipple your foundation in, and it just blends it really, really nicely. And I think it was like under $20. So yeah, the Mecca Max brushes are the one. And the Morphe brushes. The Morphe brushes are also very good too. Okay. And then I just sort of look at like, because you can use this as a foundation, sometimes I'll go back and do like a little bit extra under the under eyes, or like spots where I notice a bit of redness, and then I will just kind of make it, blend it in, obviously. And then, so for the setting powder, I have been using the Fit Cover Mineral Foundation. So I know that this is a foundation. Sometimes I use it as a foundation, like over my whole face, but more so in the summer when it's like, if I really know I'm gonna be sweaty, or if I'm gonna go out and like my makeup needs to last all day, or like when I was going to dance, like I would use just this foundation and my makeup would still be like perfect after like a super sweaty dance class in like a 30-degree room with like 50 other girls. So it is like, when they say it's sweat-proof, it's sweat-proof. But this sounds kind of gross, but like, so my skin, I feel like it gets quite oily over the day, and by the end of the day, like if I put this on and it's quite like a matte finish, the natural oil will come through and it'll turn it into like a glowy finish, which is great. Sometimes you want that in the summer. Because it's winter, I don't really need that intense coverage, so I just use it as, got a bit of dust on it, I just use it as like a setting powder. And I take a giant fluffy brush, just put a bit in the lid, tap it off, and this stuff gives you the most airbrushed skin. I don't know if this camera can really tell that well because the lighting is not amazing in here. Direct overhead lighting is not the one. And then, yeah, I just focus a little bit extra around the middle of the face, which is where I know it's gonna get like oily faster. A little bit down the neck. And yeah, it just gives you like a really nice flawless finish. It sets your makeup all day. Like I can like do this, go to the gym, go horseback riding, like, and my makeup will still be on. Then obviously this is not new to anybody, but the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand.
think I'm in the shade medium deep. Under the chin, down the sides of the nose, and then this blend, well, apparently it's from Hourglass. I'm gonna blend this before it sets. Because nobody wants little dots on their face, and this one does set quite quick, I find. And the nice thing about the Fit Cover Mineral Foundation is that, like, even though it is a powder, you can put cream over it and it doesn't like bother it, I've found, which is nice because I like to layer lots of different things, and obviously you don't want it to move your base around. And then for blush, this is a new one to me that I just started using, but it's also from Denesamyrix in Spice Latte, the Yummy Skin Blush. This is so nice. It is very pigmented, so you only need a little bit, but it kind of gives like that sort of like toasted teddy, like kind of terracotta sunburnt look, which I really think is cute. And it's also blurring. It also has the Upsolite, whatever it is in it, that is gonna make it so that, like, if you have oily skin, like, your blush is still gonna be there. End of the day, you don't need to worry about it. And then if I'm just doing a quick makeup routine, this is from Charlotte Tilbury. It was from like their 5-minute like easy makeup whatever collection. I don't think these are out of stock on the website. It makes me really sad because this is like the best like eyeshadow crayon thing I've ever used. This is this shade Super Chic Eyes, and so I will just, you can be a bit messy with this, it's fine. And then I'll do a little bit under the eye, and then I just feel like it's a really, like it says on the tin, it's just like an easy way to do an eye that looks good. We're not done, don't worry. And then you take a little fluffy brush, and then I just kind of like gently blend it up to the brow bone and then kind of wing it out. And I'm very not precise with this. It looks okay being a bit messy, I feel like. Not messy, but I feel like it's like a very blendable, like forgiving formula. And then this is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. I've repurchased this like 500 million times. Because it's just such a good eyeliner. Like it really, I wouldn't say it's waterproof. They say it's waterproof. I'd say it's like water resistant. It really stays on quite well. And I only do my outer like corners because like I've got lashes on. These are like, they're like DIY lash extensions that last for 10 days. They're from a company called Lucille, like L-E-C-I-L. I'll link it below. And they're amazing because they're pre-glued. I used to use Lashify. I love Lashify. It's great, don't get me wrong, but because you have to put the glue on each lash yourself, it takes like, I don't know. The whole routine with Lashify, if I was being speedy, I could get it done in 30 minutes. With the Lucille ones, you literally just like sit down, stick them on because they're pre-glued, you clamp them, and you're done. And they last me like 8 to 10 days. It really, the length they stay on really depends on my application. Sometimes I apply them a little bit better and they stay on for like 10 days and it feels like I could go even longer. They're not waterproof, like I wouldn't put my face under the shower, but if you are careful with how you wash your face, they last for like 10 days and I'm obsessed with them because ain't nobody got time to go and get lash extensions refilled. And with lash extensions, like I love how they look when you first get them, but then there's always the weird couple weeks in between, like you go and get your fill, and like just lying on the bed is so boring sometimes. There's just better things to do, and these are like a good way. I feel like they're pretty, I wouldn't say they're natural looking, but like they're not like crazy like broom lashes. So next we're gonna do It's my absolute favorite blush, and I use it for blush and bronzer brush, and I actually have no idea where I got it from. But it's just so good because I don't know if you can see that, but it's like kind of got like a tapered effect, so it's really good for like, I'll show you. This is my absolute favorite bronzer. It's like a blush and bronzer in one, and it's discontinued, and I was so devastated to find that out, and I went on eBay and bought every single one that I could find. So I've got a stash for a little while, but you know when you just find a bronzer that's just so good? Like, it's like, I know it doesn't look like anything that exciting, but it's just, for me, it's like the perfect shade. It's got a little bit of shimmer to it, which I like. It's really like, I'd say it's like quite pigmented, but like not in a way that's hard to work with, just in a way that you don't have to put a lot on, which is what I kind of prefer. I find like a lot of makeup is like aimed at like the girlies who like a very like buildable foundation or buildable product, and I'm not like that. I want to put the least amount of product on it that I can. I don't know. It made more sense in my head, but I just find like so many of like the blushes and stuff that you find, you're like, oh, I have to keep putting more and more and more and more to build up to the color payoff I want. And I just rather it be the other way around. So yeah, just do a little bit of bronzer. And kind of go up my temples too. And then I'll do a little bit, contour the nose. Whatever's left, I'll put it on the chin. And then, do I want to put blush? Tiny bit maybe. And then for this Benefit in the shade Tickle, their highlighter, it's, I'm gonna say it's very similar to the Dior one, which is like $100, and it's just like a really beautiful like pinky. You can tell how much I've been using this. I've had this for a very long time. It's crazy. It, like, I swear I'm never gonna, this is gonna be like buried with me. It's never gonna run out. But it's just like a really nice pinky sort of glow, and I'll just do it like, we're not going for like a 2016 like blinding highlight, just a little bit of definition, and then underneath the arches of my brows, and then sometimes I like to pretend like it is still 2016, and we put a little bit of highlight in the corners of inner corners of my eyeball so I look awake. There. And what's next? So I have my brows microbladed, so you can see like don't really need to do anything to them, but I have been experimenting with using, like, I don't know, TikTok made me do it. I don't even watch TikTok that much, but sometimes like I'll go on there to research products, because I feel like 2 years ago I just like was wasting so much time watching TikTok, and I was like, okay, this is just done. But it is really good for like researching things, like if you go somewhere, like finding like cafes to go to, or like seeing makeup products swatched on people who have like a similar skin tone to you. So that's what I keep it for, but I'm not allowed to scroll. But sometimes you go to look at something and then you just accidentally see another video. Sometimes that happens. So that's what happened with this. And I was like, oh, it's like, this is the Maybelline Super Lock Tinted Brow. I have very, very strong brows. Like, I find that nothing holds them. Like, I have tried a few like brow products. My brows just have a mind of their own. Like, they don't want to go where they don't want to go. And sometimes I just think, okay, just let them do that. They're microbladed, who cares? But then I see like the other girlies on Instagram, and they have like such cute like brushed up brows, and I'm like, I want to try that look. My brows say they do not want to be part of that. They just want to do what they want to do. So did that do that much? I don't know, but I bought it, so I might as well use it. So that's pretty much, oh, I forgot lips, oh my god. So I will always blot with some
some toilet paper roll. Just to get off like the lip gloss or whatever lip mask I had on from sleeping. And this, you can see this little tiny nub, is Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Hot Gossip, which is, I can't talk and do lip liner at the same time. Just think it's a nice like reddish brown. I feel like it just creates a really good base for whatever you wanted to put on top of it. And right now I'm really loving the House Labs PhD lip glosses for a PhD girly. I know that's so cheesy. That is not why I bought them, but they're actually so nice. They say they're plumping, but if they are, they're not like stingy, which I really appreciate. This is the shade Cocoa. This formula actually feels so nice and it's not sticky and it lasts for a super long time. So yeah, that is my everyday makeup look. Probably took a little bit longer filming it because I was talking at the same time. But yeah, that is the look. Oh my God, I almost forgot setting spray. Obviously, Charlotte Tilbury. Delightful. Okay, well that was the makeup routine done.
Okay, so makeup is done, hair is done, little outfit of the day. The jeans are from Zara and the top is pre-loved Ralph Lauren from eBay. Like the Ralph Lauren Oxford shirts are just so good, like so comfy, so classic, like you're just never gonna get sick of it. And yeah, and watch that was a weird way of showing that. Watch is from YCL. Pretty much all my jewelry I think is from YCL except for the earrings are from F&H Studios, and shoes are from Amazon I think. So yeah, that's the outfit of the day. I thought I will probably leave this vlog here, but yeah, leave a comment below if you made it to the end, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you are feeling the videos. Okay, see you in the next one.